Good evening, everyone. So today I'll be talking about my reflection on Sharath Menon. Sharath Menon's role in ANL is Assistant Manager of Procurement and Operations. Now, why I decided to interview Sharath is because when I applied for ANL, that was originally the co-op role that I wanted. It seemed very wise in a future point of view where I would be dealing with contracts, dealing with external stakeholders like ports, shipping companies, also captains of the ships, in terms of seeing how we could increase profitability in by reducing costs. Now, a little bit on Sharath's career path. He was in college at the age of 16 under nautical technology, bachelor's of nautical technology. And after that, he went straight into cadetship for a period of until he was 30, where he reached Master Mariner, which is captain. In between that, it's third mate, second mate, first mate, and then chief mate when you're right underneath the captain and you're in charge of the logistic of the ship, in charge of taking care of the crew. And he achieved that at the age of 30 is when he finished his Master Mariner. So at the age of 30, he decided to settle down, move to Melbourne, and begin his role as cargo superintendent at ANL. So at ANL, he worked as a cargo superintendent for 5 years. And a cargo superintendent role is heavily related with communicating with the crew of the ship, which he had all the experience, that 12 to 13 years of sailing experience. And he transferred it into understanding what it would be like to be on the ship, like putting on the scaffolding of containers, knowing the stability of the ship. And he transferred that skill with compromising with the captains and knowing how to allocate the time between ports, in terms of allocating container space and allocating where the container goes onto the ship so that stability is not compromised. He also understood and had a better understanding of allocating dangerous good containers, because they cannot be near each other in case of a chemical outbreak or an explosion, which means could lead to a chain reaction of explosions. There's also different type of containers. There are dry containers, there's refrigerated containers, and in terms of refrigerated containers, they need to be allocated to a certain spot, which is called a slot, so that they can be charged up on a 12-hour basis so that they do not compromise the quality of the refrigerated goods. Now, in terms of how his role has influenced my understanding of the industry is you experience the industry as you work inside of it, as you grow up inside of it. You learn more of the shipping language that everyone uses. You have a better understanding of the Incoterm that gets used and how the supply chain flows. And his role really inspires me of how you really need to know the needs and wants of the department as a whole, so inter-stakeholders, and also negotiate with external stakeholders to have a win-win point of view, but still make enough money for profitability to come back to the company so that the company grows. And I can really use all this knowledge that I learned from Sharath into my future career as possibly as a trade broker. Thank you and good evening. Peace out.